Hello all, how you doing? This is Dr. Boney. I will be your instructor for Bio 453, bioinformatics. A couple things about me. I've been teaching for about 28 years. Um, I have been a professor of biology and biological sciences, particularly genetics, molecular biology, and microbiology for about 15 to 20 of those years. Um, and so I'm going to kind of show you the beautiful interface of computers and sciences and how we can use various forms of software and data to help answer some questions that we have about it. So let me just kind of go over the course for a little bit with you. Let's start here at the syllabus. Um, and if we take a look at the syllabus here, this is just, I'm obviously not going to read all of this to you. Um, but we have our grading scale and whatnot. We have what we're going to learn and the major goals behind them. And so you're going to see that a lot of the things I'm going to share reflect all of these particular things. So we'll go ahead and get started on the generics of how the course is organized. So a couple of ways to do it. You can start at home or you can start with modules, either one. Excuse me. The college provides a course orientation module. This is obviously not what you're looking at now. This is more generically speaking, so you want to go there. Then after you finish that, you want to go ahead and say, start here to begin the class. And once you do that, it's going to send you to this area, which is a series of modules. So I recommend the easiest way to navigate this course is not through the Files tab, but through the Modules tab. That's kind of how it's organized. And so you can kind of go through all of this. If you start here at the course overview, this is going to tell you what the course is about. Now, this page is very important. This course is about 60% based on using the R programming language and Python. So I'm going to assume you know nothing about those, and I'm going to go from the very beginning of how to use it all the way through doing data computation analysis on some biologically related or biological related issues and questions we want to look at through data. So the first 5 or 6 weeks of the course is not about R or Python. The first 5 or 6 weeks is just giving you a fundamental understanding of some of the more biology related databases that we have, and then we're going to apply them using R. So I'm giving you a good 4 or 5 weeks to go ahead and download these four things. Now, how to do that, because they're a little bit tricky, you're going to want to go ahead and click this video right here. And by clicking this video, this is going to show you how to install all of the required software, the views you should look at. You click what I click, the whole thing. And there's actually going to be a little assignment in about 2 or 3 weeks that I'm going to give you that's going to show you. So obviously you're looking right now at this, and it's going to go through and show you exactly where to, which one to choose, or all that stuff. So all that is free. And so that's one thing. So you're going to get a couple of weeks for that. The other thing you're going to do is go ahead and click here to create an account under something that's called Edpuzzle. This is also free. And so if you're going to click here for this thing called Edpuzzle, it's going to look like this. And you're like, what is this? Well, just go all the way up to the right, upper right hand screen there, and hit sign up. And then you can choose if you want. I always do sign up with Edpuzzle. That's the easiest to do. Put your first name, last name, make up a username, password, and you're done. And you can see that that's going to give you access to the class. So you're like, well, what's that for? Okay, you're like, I totally understand why I need R and Python and all that, but what's this Edpuzzle thing? Well, let's just go through kind of like the start stuff, and you're going to kind of see where that ends up. So first, once you've done that, first thing you're going to do is a class introduction. Very clear. I'm sure because none of you, this is not your first class at WilmU. I'm sure you've done this before. If you need help, let me know. But it's nice to kind of get to know you guys, so you're going to go ahead and do that. And then just a little bit of help on the format. And then basically from that point, if you want to go back to modules, we can actually start some of the content. So here we are. After you've done all that, these are the modules. So let's take a look at what that Edpuzzle thing was about. So the first thing, the module 1, week 1, is going to be a module. It tells you exactly what it's about. So the first thing you're going to do, of course, is register for Edpuzzle, and then you have some assignments to do. So if you go right down the list, the next one is this thing that looks like, you're going to see it looks like a YouTube video. It's not necessarily. This is from Edpuzzle. These are YouTube videos that have embedded questions in them, and they're related to the content for that particular module. So if I click on here, I'm trying to click on this and nothing's happening. You also may have your screen do something like this, and you're like, why isn't this working? Well, the reason why is you probably haven't registered for Edpuzzle yet. Notice how you don't see my name there. So I'm going to now pause the video and register for Edpuzzle, and I'm going to come back and we're going to see if this screen looks any different. So let me just go back to modules and then just kind of pause it right here and see what happens. All right, so now that I have logged into and created an account in Edpuzzle, and I've just refreshed the page, all I did was just do refresh. And again, it happens a lot faster in Chrome. Sometimes in Firefox it takes 5 or 10 minutes, but in Chrome it's almost instant. And then if I now click on Archaean Taxonomy again, you should see, see the difference? Now you see my name and log out. You should see your name there. And now when you go ahead and hit get started, now it's going to look like a YouTube video, except it's not. It is a YouTube video, except there's these little dots down here. And as you proceed through this video, once it gets to this dot, it's going to ask you a question, usually like yes or no, or some number you got to put in, or whatever it is. Some of these are made by me. Some of these are fantastic and made by other people, where I just added the questions in, but this is just for you. It's almost like for the lecture part, because you don't get to see me. So this is kind of how I quote unquote lecture, and I will have these for almost all of these modules to show you how to use what it is we're going to learn about. And so that's kind of how they work. So you're going to go down, watch these things, and you're going to then get to a point where you're going to have either a quiz. Now the quiz is going to be on chapter 1. So obviously there is reading. So you're going to be reading, chapter 1, and you're going to have a quiz on it. You can have resources out. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Then when we go to week 2, you'll see that each module is 2 weeks. So module 1 is still second week. So the first part of it is this part. The second part of it is this part. And this is, again, will be another kind of tutorial that I show you how to use your first database called NCBI. It's very important to biological sciences, and you're going to start to learn how to use it. And then here's the part 2 of it. And so after that, then you're going to get to the actual work. So of course there's a discussion board. You're going to go ahead and do that. And then end of week 2, you have an assignment. And so basically what you're doing is you're going to be printing out this thing that looks kind of like a booky PowerPointy type thing. And it's basically instructions how to navigate NCBI with some very detailed instructions, and it might take a minute to open up because, sorry about that, because it's a little larger. That's okay. So I just went ahead and just downloaded it. Now, don't be freaked out with the 84 pages. You're basically going to be starting way later than that, probably on page 38. And a lot of it's going to be like this. Click that, go here, do this, and there's going to be questions that you're going to answer about them. And you're like, well, how do I know like which ones I'm answering? Well, that's why you're going to take the data sheet, which is this. This is the actual thing you're going to submit to me, and it's going to be very specific, excuse me, as to what questions from this database packet you're going to answer. And so here's the link, and so here you go, right? Section 1. So you can literally begin this on page 38. If you want to start on page 1, that's fine. And it's going to be showing you on page 38 of this thing exactly how to navigate all of this information, where to go, click this, then click that, all the way down the line, and then this is where you're going to put all of your answers. So that's why it's in a document form, because you're actually going to write them all out. And then you're going to see that all of these questions refer to a page. So this is going to be section 6. You're going to answer questions number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the next set of questions, page 57 and 58. Boom, all the way down the line. That's what you're going to do. And then that's going to be submitted for your module problem set number 1. That's why I organized this course over each 2-week module. you can, and if you'll notice, by the way, these are going to unlock on September 2nd. I'm filming this a couple days ahead of time. But you can in other words, you need 2 weeks to do all this. If you have a super busy week 2, do all of it week 1. It doesn't matter to me. But this is what has to be done for the first 2 weeks. And you'll notice that September 14th, I'll be unlocking the next set of stuff. And you'll be going down and doing these. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't worry about what's below that. That is going to be all of the stuff that you need to know how to use, so that when we begin week 7 to 15, all of that is going to be R, and all of that is going to be Python, and I'll have several videos to kind of show you how to use that. So hopefully you found this video useful. And if you have any sort of questions or anything, let me know, but I am happy to help to answer any questions that you might have. And on that note, thank you so much.